What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? That video gives just enough so I can make sure I'm live in all the right spots.
That's enough. We don't want to go too much. We want just enough. That is true. Right. You always got to wait like that 6 seconds. You come on either in the middle or staring like.
Right. Am I live? Am I live? Am I live? What's up, y'all? TGIF. What's up? We are here giving y'all the dish, the secrets, the tea. One, we're going to talk about the big internet stuff that happened this week when Hormozy dropped his book. But more importantly, we're going to talk about how do you create a signature offer, a signature process, a signature model in your business so that you don't feel like you're chasing after the next shiny thing over and over and over and over again. And of course, you know what's up. I'm here with Donna. We always have a good time when we're together.
Absolutely. I feel like I should have had a drink. Anyway. I do have a drink. Don't go nowhere.
Don't go nowhere. So she's grabbing her Friday night non-alcoholic cocktail. I'm drinking my Friday water. I put it in this shiny glass so I can be reminded to keep hydrated through.
I was shiny glass ready.
Okay, look.
This is fresh. Look, fresh out the fridge. I was ready for it.
Frenzies.
Wait, okay, now I'm ready. Let's go.
Now you ready. I see. And this is how we do it. We do things signature. We do things hella extra.
Hella extra.
So jump into the conversation. So if you're watching us, you can hear us, you can see us, all that good stuff. Drop us some comments. Let us know that you're in the place to be on this awesome Friday. I'm going to introduce Donna, then she can introduce me, and we're going to get right on.
Girl, hey,
what's up? So Donna, my co-founder of firesavvy.net, she is a $250 million tech mogul, founded, sold it, moved on to Fire Savvy, and as well as been on stages like Starbucks, Microsoft, all the places, all the things. But more importantly, here's what she does is she takes your brilliance, your expertise, and packages it in a way that creates revenue unlike you've never seen before, but specifically through a signature business model. So what's up, Donna?
Hey girl, hey, how you doing? So Chanel likes to call me the visionary of Fire Savvy. I will tell you that Chanel is the integrator of Fire Savvy. And let me tell you, I think it's never been more obvious to us than this week, for real, or this past 2-3 weeks as we're going through Fire Savvy 2.0. What's up with that? Because while I might come up with the great ideas, if you don't have, and I can get the first 80% done, which is lovely. But that last 20% be like, I'm done with this project.
Let's get somebody else to do it.
And Chanel is absolutely amazing at helping me and helping our clients take these remarkable ideas and turn them into money, right? Running $3 billion worth of projects. This, quite honestly, is Chanel's like second nature, right? Like she's like, girl, this is like $2,000. We could do this. Seriously. And it's so funny because, I think this week we've seen each other's strengths and weaknesses, right? We've seen each other's strengths and weaknesses on full frontal. And what's great about it is there's no judgment about it. Like Chanel's just straight up like, nah, I know you tired. I know you done. I know you did the first 80 and you out. And what's cool is that while I'm doing the first 80 over here, she's doing the last 80. Like we got this overlap that's absolutely spectacular. And the best thing about that for our clients is that they get both of us plus the heart of our business, Doug Stampley, right? Yeah, so they get all of it, and it's absolutely amazing to work with Chanel. So listen, if y'all so lucky, one day you too you can be a part of Fire Savvy, maybe. Maybe.
Yes.
So let's talk about what happened in them internet streets this week.
Yeah, so I was actually really intrigued by if you brand spanking new to Hormozy's world. Alex Hermosi is a business mogul, I guess. I won't necessarily call him a business coach. I'm gonna call him a business entrepreneur. I actually been following him for probably about like at least probably I'll say like 7-8 years. Because he used to be a gym dude. He would go in and create profitability for gyms, i.e., like athletic training facilities. And so I reached out to him at one point to be able to kind of turn our former athletic training facility around. And so I've been following him for a while. He's a tremendous business person and creates just really cool business strategy and business info. And this weekend, he launched a book.
Right.
And basically broke the internet. So you got entrepreneurs, digital marketers, like pros, cons. Some people loved it. Some people didn't. Some people are now trying to duplicate it. Some people are trying to still catch up and figure out who the heck Hermosi is. But there's some things that I pulled from it as genius. And then I pulled some things from it that I was like, it was cool for him, but it would not work for Fire Savvy.
And you know what? So here's the thing. People... and I think this is unfair. People try to put him in the category of quote bro marketers. And I actually think it's a little unfair for him because and here's the thing. I have a very specific way that I think of bro marketers, right? I think of bro marketers running an ascension model, consistently trying to upsell me into some next shit while giving me very little at this level. And he's not a bro marketer. He actually doesn't run an ascension model, but let's start there, shall we? Okay, because most people, first of all, most people don't even know what time of day a business model they're running. That's number one. Bro marketing is a hallmark of an ascension model. The ascension model is a hallmark of bro marketing.
Right.
Number two, and number three, he actually runs a razor and blade model, which is directly nested into a signature model. But you'd actually have to know business.
Right. So let's
not just copycatting other people's shit.
Right. And that's what I was gonna say. So I think a lot of times what we see in this entrepreneurial world is we're sort of taught, but we also mimic a lot, right? And it's not necessarily our fault. Like we see somebody successful. Right. Out there doing it, and you're like, cool, I'm going to do exactly that. And then you start doing exactly that, and you're like, this sucks.
Right. Absolutely. I mean,
it sucks.
Listen, everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, that would be unfair, but many people right now on the internet today, in Beyonce's interweb streets, most of these people right now today are copying some type of ascension model, or they're copying some type of time-based model. Number two, it's one of the two.
Yep.
It's one of the two, ascension or time-based. There are very few people that are running anything other than ascension or time-based, or, time and materials based, or another way to think of time-based is consultant-based.
Yeah.
Exactly. So let's talk about 1, 2, 3. Let's talk about time-based or time and consultant based. Let's talk about ascension model. Let's talk about razor and blades. And let's talk about signature.
Yep.
Because right now, those are the 4 prevailing models, with the one that you make the most money from being signature for most people. But the funny thing is, the fewer number of people are using signature.
Right.
Most people are using ascension, and ascension is the hardest one to make money with.
Yeah. Especially if
what the hell
agency owner that does not have a tremendously large audience. Let's be honest, like Hermosi has millions of followers.
He had 500,000 people show up for his
millions of followers
webinar. Right? Most people can't get 50 people to show up. Most people can't get 15 people to show up to a webinar. He had 500,000 people on tap.
Right. Exactly. So most agency owners don't have a huge following. Most professional service-based providers or consultants, quite honestly, can't service that many clients under their model, right? And then, you look at coaches, and if you have that many that you're trying to service, you will end up burning out.
Right. So let's start with the ascension model.
Yep.
So the ascension model is a very standard model that most people know what it is. It's really considered like a value ladder. I have it when I drew the when I drew up the graphic for it to show it, it's always shown as this equilateral triangle.
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely not equilateral.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like an isosceles or acute. And what I mean by that is that the ascension model literally says, market your ass off and bring in as many people as possible. Who are those people? Can they breathe?
Right. And it's freebies, it's free downloads, it's launching a new lead magnet with every trend that comes out. Maybe your free Facebook community and your membership. But the more important part of that is you do all that free stuff. Like, okay, I'm gonna do all this free stuff, add all this free value. And then I hope that when I make that offer, they are going to go to the next thing.
And let's talk about who the they is.
Mm-hmm.
Most people are like, and 80% of people are gonna go up. No, and 5%
and not
maybe ascend, right? Like, right, like maybe, and so let's really talk about that, right? When an ascension model means that you have to have a very, very large low ticket, no ticket base.
Yeah,
low ticket
in some cases.
Say that again.
Uncurated in a lot of cases.
Uncurated, usually uncurated. And here's the perfect example of the dude who kind of did it first online. First of all, the ascension model came from the theater world.
Mm-hmm.
It works for the theater world.
Mm-hmm.
You have 1,000 seats.
Mm-hmm.
100 of those seats are the premium seats. Right. And then within those 100, only like 10 of those seats got like backstage passes associated with
row access.
Right. So out of those 1,000 seats, you only have 10 that are really the seats, right? And so if you think about it, but it works for them. They have a very limited time, very limited offer, very limited amount of people, very limited everything is limited. I see y'all saying, hey Doug, how y'all doing? Y'all
Facebook user, so you gotta say your name, unfortunately.
What's your name? Because it just says Facebook user. We don't know who that is. But hey, anyway, so the ascension model is bring me 1 million people. Mm-hmm. And this is the part that most people don't know. Did y'all know that Zuck had to have 50 million subscribers to Facebook before he ever turned a profit? Most of y'all can't get past 5,000 people.
Right.
This man had to have 50 million subscribers to his free platform before he turned a single dollar profit. And while people saying, oh, I don't know, hey Lisa, why people like, oh, well, I mean, but yeah, look at him now. He's a billionaire. Most of y'all would starve to death before you got to 50 million people. Right. Most of y'all would have starved to death by then. Mm-hmm. So I want you to think about this. You can't make no money. You can't make a single dollar until you get to 50 million people.
Right.
You still running that ascension model.
Right. With by the way, people, because now we use this Facebook analogy. Now you got free people who have no intention of buying ads, no intentions of starting a business, totally uncurated audience. They're just on there soaking up the free content, And now you are hoping that it's attractive enough to your, sponsors and corporate buyers and advertisers to fund that 50 million.
Right. Because you damn sure can't sell them 50 million because them 50 million ain't buying shit.
Right. Yeah. They didn't think about it. Free content.
And think about it. How old is Facebook? They just put out the thing now where they have something where the users can actually pay Facebook directly outside of advertising. Mm-hmm. They only just launched that like recently, right? So think about that. This man had to have $50 million. So we talk 50 million users. So when you talk about it, an ascension model requires a huge base. Right. And I'm going to say, if you want to hit 1 million people, for every dollar you need, you have to have a half a subscriber.
Yeah. And some of us, I mean, most of I think you and I each probably have little under 5,000 followers, maybe, and depending on the platform.
On the platform, I got 15,000 on LinkedIn. Don't tell nobody.
So, but I'm saying, and that's tremendous, right? But
right.
Look how long it took to get.
Oh, that's over 13, 14 years.
Look how long it took to get to that part. So many, the reason why I say all that is that many of us, sometimes small business owners, agency owners, coaches, we go and chase those new followers. But could you actually chase that many to be able to hit those metrics?
And that's 1,000. Think about it. I've had it since LinkedIn came out, right? Mm-hmm. So it's probably 1,000 a year over every year that they've been out, if you want to know the truth. And I can say for sure, there were years where I was really curating big audiences, like going for it. Mm-hmm. It's still not at a point where it's hit hockey stick growth that it can curate itself.
Right.
There's a reason that Mark had to have 50 million. 50 million was hockey stick growth. Mm-hmm. Most of us don't know what that number is for us.
Right.
Because we've never hit it. We've never gotten to the point where we've hit a number and we're going to see a continuous growth.
Or we get exhausted before we even get to
that. We get tired of chasing down these free people.
Right.
Not only chasing them down, because just because you caught them doesn't mean you're going to keep them.
Right.
So an ascension model requires two things. Number one, it requires a significant amount of marketing. Mm-hmm. It requires that you constantly are chasing that new person in the audience. And here's the other part. It also requires that you keep them. Because getting them means jack.
Right.
If you talking about investors and people are going to buy from you, they have to be actually like doing stuff involved.
Right. So let's even just break that down just for, my agency owners, coaches that have that $97 membership or that lower ticket membership. That churn, that means that every time that somebody leaves, you are out there marketing to get people back into it.
Not to get that person back you lost and another person.
Yes.
Right. So you may have gotten 100 the first month. Well, let's not lie. You may have gotten 10 the first month.
Yes.
But then the next month you lost 3. So you got to get 13 that next month.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so you have this constant growth until you get a point where you go, oh, I know I'm going to lose 20%, but I'm going to gain, so I got to constantly get this 120%. Right. 120% is a growth number.
Mm-hmm.
125 is a growth number. 120 is a standard number. Yeah. Right. And so we're talking about consistently growing that base. Mm-hmm. Then after you grow that base, somebody said that's crazy volume of people. Yes.
Exactly. Yes. I literally just said that is a recipe for burnout.
It absolutely. Because then once you get them now, here's the part. And I can sniff out an ascension model from a mile away. Because they're like, oh, did you get my lead magnet? Great. So that's awesome. Do you want to buy this? And it's a low ticket thing. Mm-hmm. Now, do you want to buy this other low ticket thing? Do you want to buy this other low ticket thing? You want to buy this? And I know every time I talk to them, they're going to try to sell me more low ticket shit. Right. I'm not saying that you don't ascend to people with an ascension model. Mm-hmm. It is a very different type of ascension because it has limited ascension. And so, whereas this one, they're trying to ascend as many people as possible, regardless of whatever.
Yeah. And to be honest, most of the time it's very limited criteria of who goes up, right? So, okay, you bought my $7 thing. Cool. You want to buy my $19 thing? All right, fine. You want to buy my $47 thing? Never asking about your goals. Never asking about what's going on. Never asking if it's even the right fit for you. They're just like, okay, I'm going to sell it. And if you buy it, cool.
Great. Great. Cool. I just want you to buy it. And so, they're looking for somebody with a heartbeat, like, in some brain function.
Right.
Enough to be able to put in the credit card number and press the button. That's really it. Right. And so the ascension model really, so if you really break it down and look at it, I did these numbers with Ilika the other day. Actually, I think I said I have them right here. So we looked at what would it take, here it is, for anyone to have an ascension model. So we used a very base of 10,000. You have 10,000 people on your email list. These are free people. Mm-hmm. We know 10% of those will ascend to your $20 product. Mm-hmm. So let's not get it twisted. You got to get 10,000 people on your list. Come back to that. Pause. Stay right there. Don't go nowhere. 1,000 people buy your $20 product. So now you made $20,000. 100 people from this 1,000 buy your $500 product. Okay, great. You are now at 500. Yeah, that's 50,000. So you're at 50,000. So you're like, shit, girl.
Good.
I just made $70,000. What? Pause.
Because you and I already know what's coming. At least I do. You like, hey, I got all that cash.
What was your customer acquisition cost?
That and what happened next month?
Yeah. What's your customer acquisition cost? How did you get those people? How did you get them? Because contrary to what you believe, you did not get 10,000 people last month. Let's say just last month. You did not get 10,000 people last month for free. I guarantee you had to run an ad or two. And on average, ads are running about $3 to $5 per click. So we're going to split right down the middle.
That's if you know what you're doing and have a good ad.
Right. So we're going to split down the middle and go, and absolutely, because ours have cost us $100 at one point. So we split that down. We're going to say it's $4 per ad. So now we're at $40,000. So it costs you $40,000 to get to 70. You are at $30,000. Congratulations.
One time, and that's not monthly.
One time. Oh, that's not monthly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's at one time.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. That burnout starts to come because next month you're looking at the edge of the cliff again.
Yeah. And these are happy numbers. These aren't real numbers.
Right. Your 10% was generous. Right.
It's generous as hell. We know, listen, people, and so let's be really real. If I really took this, I would say you had 10,000 people open your email list, which probably had about a 30%, if you damn good, open rate, which meant it really took about 30,000 people, which means that you spent $4,000 per ad to get each one of those people.
Right.
Which meant you spent 120 to make 70,000. You actually negative 50. Yeah. But hey, y'all do that ascension model.
Right.
That is not the model for me. And a lot of people think that Hormozi does an ascension model, and he does not.
Mm-hmm.
He actually does a signature model, and he is very blatant about it. Mm-hmm. It's just that people aren't seeing it. So this is my public service announcement. Mm-hmm. I just want to get it out real quick. Your ass can't get 10 people to your webinar. Please do not go and try to pull off what Hormozi did and give all your shit away from free. You're going to be broke, boo. I need you to go back to your regularly scheduled business model until you figure it out.
Right. And learn a better way. I won't even say it is a better way, but a way that's aligned with
your business,
your expertise in your business.
If you're sitting here and you have a half million followers, mm-hmm. I would tell you to go for an ascension model, and I would coach you 100% through it. Mm-hmm. Right. If you do not have a 500,000 followers, do not do an ascension model. That is not your model. Go back to your model. And I really do mean that. Like, go back to your model.
Right.
And you could have a subscriber model if you have 250,000 or more, 100,000 or more, which is still hard. Mm-hmm. But seriously, either a subscriber model or ascension model is really built for people who have a 500,000 subscribers or more. Let's talk about what Hormozi's model actually is, mm-hmm. and why people shouldn't be duplicating that right now. You should not do what Hormozi did in regards to following his model from scratch, because I've seen it online already where people are going, I'm going to go.
I literally thought the next day. I was like,
oh my God, within hours, I'm going to give all my stuff away for free. I'm like, you're going to be broke, because that's not what he did.
No.
Contrary to what people think, that is not what he did. What you saw was the razor and blades tactic or strategy within a signature model. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about the razor and blades tactic that he used. Mm-hmm. So razor and blades comes from razor blades, contrary enough. And if ladies, we don't run into this as much. We run into it some, according to what kind of razors you're using.
Right.
But when you go, if y'all ain't lasering it off, if you go to CVS, right, right. But if you go to CVS, or if you've got anything from, let's say, Dollar Shave Club, mm-hmm. the razor, I mean, not the blades, mm-hmm. which is what cuts.
Right. The plastic part.
The plastic stick will cost you nothing. It'll cost you $1, $5. It doesn't matter. It's cheap. But the plastic stick means nothing without the razor. Mm-hmm. And so what he said was, you can have all my videos for absolutely free. Mm-hmm. You're welcome. And people are like, oh my God, that is so generous. He gave us all the videos for free. And then he's like, Oh, and you can get the supplemental book that go with it for $30.
Mm-hmm.
And people were like, oh, but I have all the videos. Of course I'm going to get the book. It's a razor and blades model. The blades are the thing that costs you. The razor is a cheap plastic stick.
Mm-hmm.
The videos are his cheap plastic stick.
Right.
The blades is the book.
Yep.
It was just, it's a marketing tactic.
Yep.
It's a marketing strategy. It's
which is brilliant for him because he has a huge audience.
Right. So you have to be smart about what you're going to do. You can't just be like, I'm going to give all my stuff away for free. No, this is his, what we call continue. So let's just say it real quick. In a signature model, there are 3 types of offers.
Mm-hmm.
There's your continuous offer,
right?
Which is what you are. Whoa, where did my video go? Hold on.
You're on video.
You can see me? Oh, I just went to screensaver on my end. Just saying. That's good to know, because if it's on this and the camera's on, I'm walking around naked. Anyway, now I know. In a signature model, you have 3 parts.
Mm-hmm.
You have your continuous offer.
Mm-hmm. And continuous offer, for everybody who's watching, that for coaches, this might be your master classes. For agency owners, maybe this is, an offer that you're continuously doing once a month. You're launching that one thing once a month, and
you're not launching it. Or it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's your signature topic. It's something that you are talking about on an ongoing basis. It's your thing.
At some point, it could even become evergreen.
Yep.
Not yet.
No. Everybody wants to jump to evergreen. You got to take it first. This is my public service announcement. Don't do that. Don't try and run ads to something on autopilot if it's not tested, if you don't know if people are going to buy it, if you haven't done it live several times, gotten the feedback, perfected it. That's not what you want to do. So let's just
everybody jump out there. People don't understand that for people to get to evergreen that successfully, they did a whole lot of work ahead of time to get to that successful evergreen. Absolutely. So your continuous offer is something that you offer on a continuous basis that does not change. Mm-hmm. It's not a different masterclass every month.
Right. And let's highlight that, because, entrepreneurs, we jump around a lot. We like to bounce on. I'm tired of that topic, but your audience is
not
a new audience, and they may not have heard it enough.
Exactly. So you start with a continuous offer. This offer is an offer that you have on a monthly basis, and it's meant to do one thing: change beliefs. Yep. That's all it's supposed to do. This is what they currently believe, but if they believed what you believe, they would take the next step.
Right.
And it's just one. You can have a bunch of lead magnets as long as they lead into a continuous offer. Doug says he loves your PSA. Public service announcement. Don't do that. So you can have a bunch of lead magnets as long as those lead magnets lead into this one continuous offer. Mm-hmm. One continuous offer. Then after you have a continuous offer, you go from there to having a limited offer. Right. Go ahead and tell them what that is.
So think your VIP days. For us, it's our 3-day in-person event. Maybe it's something literally where just a limited number of people can get into it, or you offer it at limited times a year. So for us, for example, our 3-day in-person event
goes to our 30-day.
20 new people, and we only do it every 30 or every quarter rather.
Yeah.
So limited offer, VIP day, limited number of people, limited who can get into it, but also limited in time.
Right. We might have, let's say over 3 months, for argument's sake, we have 375 to 450 people show up to our monthly signature model 3-day challenge, right? So we get 125 people who register for our monthly signature model 3-day challenge. That's the regular, right? And out of that, maybe 25 of them are VIPs.
Right.
Okay. Well, that means there's 375 people who have now gone through the signature model challenge. So let's be super conservative and say out of each of them, out of each class, 20% is interested on a conservative basis in doing the 30-day signature model boot camp, which only happens quarterly.
Right.
And that includes a live in person on Mastermind. That means out of each one of those classes, we have 50 people that are interested, 150 people to take up 20 spots.
Right. And I want to back up because I know somebody's thinking, well, aren't they just getting any? You said what, 365? You're just getting anybody? No, we're still curating who is in the challenge, right? Because we want to make sure that in a signature model, you're always making sure that the people that you are attracting are your dream premium signature clients. Not just everybody comes, and if they do, they will quickly fall off. They'll quickly fall off. So I don't want anybody to think, oh, well, they're just doing the same thing. No. Even at the bottom part, it's still very curated.
Right. And the messaging is really targeted towards those people. Like even the message talks about here. So let me talk about a targeted message. You're making money in your business. Okay, so we already done cut out a whole lot of people.
Right.
So you're making money in your business. You're an actual entrepreneur. You're filing quarterly taxes. But you know what? Your challenge is not getting more clients. Oh, we just cut off a lot more people.
Exactly.
Because a lot of y'all, your challenge is getting clients. Right. So this says, oh no, your challenge isn't getting clients.
Right.
You have clients.
You are have plateaued in the clients that you can serve, or plateaued in your revenue for for other reasons.
Right.
You can't sell.
Let's use that word as well. You've plateaued in your revenue. You've hit a breakthrough ceiling. In other words, you are making money, but you're churning at this money making amount. Right. So we already have disqualified a bunch of people. Exactly. And then we go further and say you're either an agency owner, you're a coach, or you're probably a mental health professional or some type of online professional services. And you're like, well, that's everybody. No, it's not.
Still weeding people out.
We're still weeding. It's not everyone, because we're not saying you run a brick and mortar anything or that you selling whatever products. Right. We're literally talking people who have their intellectual property is their expertise. They're leveraging a specific methodology, and they're bringing people in leveraging that specific methodology, and they're making money already. And what they recognize is that they've hit a breakthrough ceiling, or there's something else they want to do, or they don't know how to turn this, $125, $150, $500 therapy session into bigger money and more revenue.
Right. Yeah.
That's who we're talking to.
Yeah.
So notice how we just weeded out like a bunch of people, because we're not talking to everybody. We're talking to just our dream clients.
Right.
So how do we whittle out? By making sure that our message only speaks to our dream
language clients. And the language that we use has to be so key in attracting the signature client.
Right. Yeah. So your signature language attracts your signature client. So there's your whittling out into your continuous offer. Now, does it mean that other people won't learn something from it? Absolutely, they will. But when it comes down to the limited offer,
they'll weed themselves out, to be honest.
They'll weed themselves out, and we'll weed them out. We will refund someone in a heartbeat if we're like, this is not a match for you.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between a signature offer and an ascension model.
Right.
In an ascension model, you'll sell to anybody who breathes in. In a signature model, because the spaces are so limited, because the time is so limited, and everything is highly coveted, you really are only taking in the people who match your signature.
And you're choosing people that you're choosing your clients, you're choosing your niche, you're choosing the people that you get to spend time with in this limited offer.
Right. Exactly. Yes. You're making different choices. And so you go from having your continuous offer, which generally happens on a monthly, weekly, bi-weekly, and at some point an evergreen basis. Right. Then you go from there to having a limited offer. Again, it might happen once a quarter. It might happen once every 6 months, but it's limited.
Right.
And then you go from there to having what we call your signature offer. It's the difference between it's an online date to we now dating regular to maybe we should move in together. That's right. So your signature offer is a longer term relationship.
Yeah. This is the part I love though, really, to be honest.
It's our jam. This is where we're like, finally, now we can like, let's go. Let's get everything. Like we give everything they need within the 30-day blueprint.
Right.
But quite honestly, I don't know about everybody else, but I can't read the label from inside the pickle jar. Right. That's why I have a coach. I have a coach because I can't coach myself.
Right. You need different perspective.
I absolutely need a different perspective. And so while we give everything they need in the 30-day boot camp, like everything is there and it's laid out and it's not waterboarded. It's really like, here, go do this kind of a thing. I don't know about you, but even after I implement something, I still want somebody to say I did that step right.
A second set of eyes, a different perspective. This was good, but if you did this up just a little bit, you would get a different result. That's the type of stuff that we do in the signature offer.
Exactly. So then you get signature offer, and signature offer is a 1-year commitment. Not just the client committing to us, we are committing to them.
Right. Absolutely.
And we are committing our entire team as well as our other insiders to them.
Yeah.
Like, we take our ecosystem very seriously. So it's like bringing a new person in the family. And so I'm like, you need to act right. You the right person.
Right. I literally just had this conversation.
We vibe with you
earlier. And we were just kind of talking about sometimes you take that pause to put these things in place. Right. And I was like, listen, let's be honest. I was like, Donna is the top sales coach. Right. I'm like, I'm extremely visible on social. We could sell anybody if we wanted to.
We absolutely could.
But in a signature model, you're choosing who you invite in. It's a completely different mindset shift, to be honest. It's a completely different mindset shift.
Yeah, it's not about, listen, I sold cybersecurity and I couldn't even spell cybersecurity. like I've literally been like, because I've coached cybersecurity companies and I'm like, okay, let me get on the phone with one of y'all clients to show y'all how to do this. And they're like, you know cybersecurity? I'm like, no, I don't need to know it. Just get me on the phone. Right. And so they're like,
figure it out.
How, sis, how? And I'm like, I am the top 5 sales coach in the country. I think I can pull it off, right? And it's not an ego thing. I know the method. I know the model that I'm using. And so it's not about being able to sell people into something. I could make an offer right now and get people to buy it. That's not my goal. That's not my goal.
Right.
Just selling people stuff isn't the goal. I could do that every day. I could put up 100 damn lead magnets for $5 and never work again.
Right. Right. But I think that's so important. Let's talk about even that from just a mindset perspective, because I know I used to have an agency. And I know, there are a couple agency owners that are probably watching, and you do think that at some point there is that mindset shift where you're like, I don't need to take everybody as my client. I don't want to take everybody.
I don't want to take
everybody as my client. I want to be able to work with the premium, work with my dream, do the things that I love, but more importantly, give them amazing access.
Right.
Amazing access.
And let's talk about that as an offer. So this is where most people, I'm just going to say it, this is where most people fuck up an offer. A high-ticket offer. And I mean, y'all, it's just the ugliest, nastiest. I'm like, what? Why? What you doing? Are you also gonna go give manicures and pedicures to them every Friday at 3:00? What are you doing? They have so much shit packed into this damn offer, and I'm like, do not waterboard your people with fluff and filler crap they don't want.
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and give this away. Let me tell you what goes into a signature offer. Anything that solves their frustrations, access, experience, and results.
Right.
That's it.
Yep.
Don't go crazy. Be like, and I'm going to give you my 850,000 video series. Right. They don't want to watch your damn video series that bad. Right. They really don't. What they want to do is send your ass a text message and get a response. Right. What they want to do is know that they can pick up the phone and call you if there is an emergency. And they're like, oh, but then everybody going to be calling me all the time. Sis, they ain't got time to call you. They working.
They're trying to get results in their business.
They working. I have a coach. We have a coach. We pay 6 figures to a year.
Right.
We are not picking up the phone and calling him all the time. You know why?
Tune in when we need something.
When we need something, be like, hey, real quick, what you think about this? Cool, thank you. And then we'll hit him up again maybe next month. And y'all be like, oh, so y'all paying this man, $10,000, $15,000 a month to call him, to text him whenever? No, we're paying for access when we need it.
Right.
And we're paying for answers.
Right.
And experiences that come on with that access. And you know what? He does a great job giving us what we need. I can go right now and go on Slack and be like, "Hey, Rudy, this is my problem right here. What you think, bro?"
Right.
And he'll be like,
do this, not that.
Yeah, he'd be like,
don't try that.
Not a fail, but and why is that so important? Because it's a perspective that we're in the pickle jar. We couldn't see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We couldn't see it. And here's the thing: stop chasing the bottom. It is not a race to the bottom. Y'all like, how can I lower my prices and get the, Chanel and I, that our biggest problem that we're running into is that we literally said the other day, I'm like, if we don't renew with our coach, who can we find to give $15,000 a month to?
Yeah.
There's very few people out there who could actually serve us as coaches.
Yeah, the access part is huge. And I think many times as agency owners, the reason why they get so hung up on this is they're used to trading that dollar for them providing
that dollar per hour
or their fingers on the keyboard.
Yep.
So they're like, if I offer a $50,000 package,
I gotta
deliver, X, Y, and Z funnels. I need to create this. I need to include the graphics. And you're like, no, like I really want to just get on the phone with you and just ask a question.
Here's the best thing. I actually had this with I was talking about this to Patrice the other day. Patrice handles all of our social, and I was hooking up with a contract that's going to be like maybe $7,500 a month, right? And she was like, what else can I put in the offer? And she was coming up with all this done for you stuff. And I'm like, babe, he gonna pay you $72,000 a year. You know what he got? A team.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what he not asking you for? Your fingertips.
Right.
He wants what's between your ears, not what's at the end of your arm.
It's a hard shift for consultants and for agency owners, particularly, to take that switch from, wow, they really don't need a funnel. Wow. They really don't need me to create a post. They really want me to give them advice.
Remember, I don't know if you remember this from 2 years. It's over 2 years now, from 3 years ago, Chanel.
This about me?
This about you.
Lord,
it's about you. You had called me and said you was gonna burn down your agency. And by the way, I've owned it. And so people don't know, I actually own an agency too. We had a consulting company. It was an agency model, and we grew it to $250 million. I know what it was. I remember when we wanted to burn it down. Like 100% remember that we wanted to burn that agency down. I was like, I don't like this. I don't like you. I don't like them. I don't like any of it. I'm going to just go get a job. How about that? I'm going to do that. Because I don't like none of this. Why am I working 20 hours a week? I hate everything. But I remember that. And then we went and we burnt a portion of it down and went from Biz Intel, basically beta, to Biz Intel Beta Plus. But anyway, I don't know if you remember this, but 2.5 years ago or so, I said, I want you to make a list of everything you could do for your clients. Note, you are not allowed to put your fingers on the keyboard. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And I was like, and you was like, I'm sorry.
Right.
Then what am I do?
But here's what I'll say, for everyone that's watching that is in that space, when you feel like when you're creating an offer, and we have clients that have gone through this journey as well, right? Agency owners that have gone through this journey. When you recognize the brilliance behind your fingers not being on the keyboard and being able to take that brilliance and package it in a new signature way through, whether it's a coaching program or advisory services or, retreat one-time, programs, it really does make a world of difference. And to be honest, it completely transforms the type of clients you bring on, to be honest.
It does. It really
does. Because now you are building relationships and your clients are not just coming in and want something very transactional.
Right. And it's funny because even when we're working with someone on our own ad stuff, right? Think about it. They're like, oh, we have this and we have that. We're like, noted. That's nice. But we have a team.
Right.
That's not what we're paying you for. So I'm just trying to get people to understand, when you are working in this signature area, it is less about your fingers being on the keyboard and more. Now I get people all the time like, oh, well, what if I want somebody to do that work? And I'm like, well, we can help you build a team,
Right.
or I can point you to some of my
I
resources.
was about to say, and refer to a resource.
Yeah, we refer people within Fire Savvy all the time. That's our primary. Like if people go, why should I be an insider? Because we refer you business, lots of it.
Yeah,
we not refer, like that's all we do is refer business. We refer business back and forth all the time. But one of the things that I think people should ask themselves when they really start thinking of moving from an ascension model or moving from a time-based model, because the time-based model, we didn't talk about that one. Let's talk about that really quickly.
Yeah, and that's probably one of the most common that I see consultants use.
Yeah, absolutely. You have 40 hours a week, and the only way to make more money is to charge more. When you charge more, you're going to lose the bottom 30% of your clients, which means you're going to have to work 50% harder to get them back in. As well,
your calendar is probably already jam-packed.
Right. Yeah, your calendar is packed. So you don't lose that 30%. Now you got to do the work to get that 30% back at a higher rate. That's probably going to take you 6 months, which means you're double dutying it for 6 months just to get a packed calendar again, which, by the way, if you want to make more money, you're going to lose 30%. So it's this constant cycle. And if you go on vacation, you don't get paid.
Yeah. Or you at the beach with your laptop.
You're not,
on the phone.
Yeah.
While everybody else is partying.
Right.
You on the deck at the hotel. Let me just take this call real quick.
Let me just get on this call real quick. Let me just answer this email real quick. Everything is real quick. I bet you you cannot leave your phone home.
Right. Oh, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Chanel got to go to Dubai.
Yeah, absolutely not.
And I'm like, and I told him, I said, I better not hear from you. I better find out everything on Facebook. That's all I want to see. Right. Yeah. When we had to go to when we were doing a VIP weekend with a client, because we talking about VIP days. Y'all so cute. With your little 4 hours on Zoom. That's adorable. No, we take our people like, oh, you want to go to South Beach? You want to get on the yacht? What you want to do? We're gonna be there for 2 days.
Right.
Let's go. Right. Like let's do the thing.
Good night's sleep, not feel rushed, have a decent meal, have some chuckles, have a casual late breakfast. But
we cook for you. You're welcome.
But don't promise that, because we might always cook.
We might. No,
yeah, don't promise that.
Well, we're gonna cook for ourselves. If you come over, it might be coffee.
Right. Yeah, coffee is guaranteed, but don't promise we cooking for you.
That's true. This is true. We'll take you to eat. We're not gonna let you starve. You're welcome.
Right. Absolutely.
That little 4 hour thing now. You're gonna have a VIP. Your VIP day is more of a weekend.
Right.
But anyway, when I look at this and I look at people have the time-based model, you are literally limited to how much you can make in 40 hours. And if you're ever wondering how much that is, here you go. All you got to do is take 200, multiply it by 2 and add a 0. So that'd be 400,000 a year. That's great.
You're not working on the weekends? That's not what happened? You ain't working on the weekends, holidays?
Wait, you missed it. You got to work 40 hours a week for 50 weeks. For 50 weeks, you get 2 weeks off. Congratulations.
Wow.
However, if you get sick, you don't get paid. If a holiday come up, you don't get paid. If you lose a client, you now working double duty.
That sounds like corporate life disguised as
it is corporate life. And you're billable and you have to work outside of those 40 hours, 40 billable hours.
Yeah.
There's all the administrative work you have to do. There's all the meetings you have to take. There's all the other things. So that's $200,000. That's $400,000 a year. But quite honestly, you are working a 12 to 15 hour day.
Yeah. And constantly feeling like you're not caught up.
Constantly
feeling like you're not caught up.
And people are probably going, oh, yeah, girl, but I'm making $400,000 a year. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. That $400,000 is not going to be enough because you are going. And by the way, you better be real damn good at putting money away for retirement. Don't get sick.
Yeah.
Don't get a health issue because you are out of gas.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's one reason why those models, when you start thinking about those models, it's one of the reasons those models do not work. They don't work for a solopreneur and an entrepreneur or even for a very small business that has limited resources, that has limited time, and that has epic service that cannot function without them. That's why we keep telling people you got to move to a signature model. And a signature model, by the way, is based off of signature stuff, high-end signature stuff that you've seen.
Yeah.
So, for example, my favorite, only because I've been binge watching this damn show and I can't think of the name of it, but they use the signature model. So I'm gonna use Hermes. So let's say you want an Hermes purse and you got your 20 stacks. Hermes' signature is hell. They don't play about their age. And they don't want everybody to have their age.
Right. Yeah, you ain't about to be walking around looking
Everybody cannot know. You cannot look raggedy with the age. And the person who's selling you the Hermes is literally like looking at you from top to bottom. They don't sell it to everybody.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, this is my favorite. They're like, so you walk in, you like, I would like to buy a black Hermes purse. Here's my 20. And they're like, we got pink, green, and white. Now that might work for Chanel, but I'm like, I don't own any of those three colors. I would like a black one. They're like, that's lovely. We have pink, green, and white. If we allow you to buy it,
right,
which color would you like us to put you on the list for? I'm like, I got $20,000. And they're like, I don't care. Congratulations. Would you like to go to Louis Vuitton and buy something else?
Right.
Because what I have is pink, green, or white. And I'll put you on the list because I think these are reserved. It is the epitome of a signature model. I literally watched this woman say, well, what if I give you $25,000? And he's like, is the $5,000 a gift for me? I'm still just gonna put you on the list.
Right. With these three colors. Thank you.
These three colors. Because these are the three colors we have. So it's one of those things where you really, when you recognize that signature works, and here's the other thing, Ascension model. I want you to imagine that you going in and you're gonna buy a Bentley. This is how the Ascension model works in signature world, and how ridiculous it's gonna sound. So you roll in, you be like, they're like, hi, Chanel, how are you? Can I interest you in a keychain?
Right. You like,
how about a t-shirt? You want some floor mats? What about if I invite you to the Bentley signature drive? It'd be like, bitch, I came to buy a car. Can I buy the car?
Right. Yes, and the other reason I love that analogy, because from the flip side, when you are attracting buyers, they're ready to buy. They're ready to buy. They're like, I've been watching you live. I've seen your content. You know, you solving my problems. I want your signature offer. And you're like, no. You can come in and buy this $7 thing. Really?
And Pete, you know what? People do it to me all the time.
Yeah, I've had it done to me.
It's annoying.
Like, I want your offer, and they're like, okay, well, just come to this master class. No, skip me to the front of the line.
You just dealt with this lady. I ain't gonna call no names out because you be asking me not to. But you wanted to buy from her this thing for LinkedIn.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like 10 grand. You're like, okay, I'm ready. And she was like, you can join my master class. And you're like,
no, like
I got 10. You said your product was 10 grand. I got 10 grand. I would like to make a $10,000 transaction. Okay, well, the masterclass, like, lady, I'm not interested in a masterclass. And I'm that way. I have no patience. So the last thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pay my invoice immediately. I'm gonna get started right away. What I do not want to do is, and I'm gonna tell you, I tell people all the time, like, watch my behaviors, because my behaviors are the behaviors of wealthy people, and I was not born into wealth. I literally watch who I am now and who I was before. And by the way, Chanel had to tell me I was wealthy. I didn't know it. And so, but I do now pay closer attention to my behaviors. And she's told me, she goes, you just move differently because of it. And so one of the things is, I'm like, nah, I want to buy it. Like, I walk into something as a buyer. Like, I'll say, I'm look at this, look at this, look at this. I'm like, okay, how much is it?
Yeah. I'm ready already. Right.
I'm ready. I came in ready. Let's go. My time is more valuable than money.
Yeah.
So I'll spend the money to save my time, because money loves speed. I learned that about myself. I didn't know that. The experience is more important than the collateral, than all the collateral crap. Right. Because I'm like, I don't want to watch your videos. First of all,
Yeah, I'd rather watch Netflix than watch the videos. I want me to just text you real quick and you give me the short. Yeah. And most of your premium clients, they're the same.
Let me tell y'all right now, and I do mean this. So first of all, I'm a professional speaker, so it's really hard for me to watch videos. It's hard for me to go to networking events. It's hard for me to watch somebody on stage. Like, you really got to knock my socks off. Mm-hmm. And y'all might think that I'm being real stank. I don't even like to watch my own shit back. So I'm definitely not telling people. I'm like, absolutely not. I am not under any circumstances. If I give you a video, I guarantee you it is 3 to 5 minutes and it's going to hit the points you need, right, and it's going to move you on. Yeah, I am not trying to make you watch my videos because I don't want to watch somebody else's. Right. But I also found out that's how most wealthy people are. Mm-hmm. We will do an audiobook.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every day. Because you know why? Because I can do that while I'm doing something else. Why? Yeah, because money loves speed. My time is valuable. Yeah. So I want to watch your videos. I want to read your stuff. You give me an audiobook, I'm all in. Mm-hmm. I'm all in. And I'm here to make a decision. Right. Most people that we're talking to are so used to dealing with non-buyers that they've been trained not to sell.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. Let's pause and talk about that for a sec. I can tell the way that people approach conversations when I initiate them in the DMs that they're not even used to having those conversations for their own clients, right, based on the types of questions that they ask, based on their responses. And I'm like, when are you ever going to ask me for money? When are you going to send me a calendar link?
Right.
When are you going to drop me the link? I'm coming here telling you I'm ready to buy it.
I can't tell you how many times I deal with that. I'm like, nah, I want it. Like, that's why I'm here. And by the way, if you really want to attract somebody with money, make sure your stuff look like you got money. Yeah. Like, I was just looking at somebody's stuff the other day, and Chanel's like, I watched this lady transform over the past 90 days. And I was like, and I went and looked, and I'm like, oh, we need to talk to her. Like, like, her stuff is fire.
It looks like the type of client she's looking to attract.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. Make sure that you look like you are attracting the type of client you want. Mm-hmm. You have to look like it. If you don't look like it, they ain't even gonna bother to buy from you.
But it's not even they're not gonna buy. They're gonna, like, what did that I say you a non-motherfucking factor? Like, right. Why don't buy? It's not even they're not gonna buy it. They not even bothered with looking your way.
They're gonna bypass. And like I said, and the thing is, and so this is the last thing for our signature clients. So people are probably wondering, okay, so Donna, what do y'all do? What are y'all signature clients? Let me go ahead and let you know. Mm-hmm. So number one, our signature clients are people who are generally agency owners. They're coaches that literally are struggling with their calendar getting a little too big, fat. Like, they're like, this girl is too many people on this. Yeah, they feel like
as well.
They're very bottlenecked. They feel like they're training time for dollars, and they're tired of that. They can't take time off. They're tired. They've done all the things that they needed to do, but now they're like, oh my God, I'm making money, but
their calendar is filled with, when they look at their calendar, they're like, I gotta talk to that person.
Right. Yes.
That is definitely a symptom of it's time to switch up some things.
They're online service providers who, again, they're making money, but they feel like they're launching, relaunching, and packaging. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're making money, but they are in launch, relaunch, packaging world, and they haven't
smiling like the octopus out in the internet streets.
Right. And they might even be selling this product right here, but they don't know how to turn this product into an experience. Mm-hmm. That's the challenge.
My favorite one.
Yes. They don't know how to turn this into an experience. And they're like, well, I've seen people do stuff. It's not that thing that you do. It is the entire thing from beginning to end. It's the whole thing. So it's not like, oh, I'm just going to throw this thing in. If you just throw this thing in, and I know people who have just thrown the thing in, and I'm like,
it becomes just a thing.
It's just a thing. And then it doesn't get your community to connect. It doesn't get people to want to be there at all. Right. And so our dream client is literally at that point where they're like, I want to create a more signature offer where people recognize me, they recognize my name, they recognize my product, my offering, my services. They recognize that I'm high end. They recognize that I work with people who are badass, and they recognize that I get results. And they don't compare me to others as competitors, because they recognize, oh, those people aren't competing.
It's a complete differentiator and
it is. It is
elevated experience.
100% elevates you completely from your competitors. And here's the best part: your competitors aren't even thinking about doing it. They can't even figure it out. They can't figure out how to get there. That's why most people don't compare Fire Savvy to other coaches. They're like, even when people talk about it, they're like, oh no, there are no containers, or that's cute.
Container.
There's none of that.
Yeah.
No, this is Chief Business Advisory at its best. This is why we have clients that stay with us for a very long time. And even when they descend from where they are, they still are like, no, but I got to stay in the ecosystem. Right. How do I stay? They still go, how do I stay in, even though I don't need all of this anymore? How do I stay in? Right. And that's the thing. Ours, you come in here and then you figure out where you trickle down to or come back up to.
Yeah.
There is no, I got to constantly push you up the hill.
Right.
We do have our continuous offer. So we do have a continuous offer. Our continuous offer is our 3-day signature model challenge. The 3-day signature model challenge, it does happen monthly for now, because Chanel and I do change our minds.
We don't relaunch, we change our minds.
We do not relaunch, we just change our minds. Anyway, so it is a signature model challenge. It's happening on the 29th, 30th, and 31st. That sounds right. At 6:15. It is limited because we don't let everyone in. Like we said before, we don't let everyone in. And the goal of the signature model challenge is literally for you to is for you to recognize the parts of your current business model that are broken and that are exhausting you. And how do you move over to a signature model where you're going, like your normal everyday thing would be like, so me and the clients are going out on an 85-foot yacht this weekend. And then from there, like you have that lifestyle business. We're going to show you, we're going to uncover it and show you how you can transition into a signature model without actually taking any risk with your current model.
Yeah. And that's the part I love, because it really is blending.
It's a blended transition plan.
Yeah.
Which I absolutely love. And it streamlines and simplifies your business while you make a lot more money doing a lot less work. There is foundational work that you have to do when you transition, but it's not massive. Yeah. And then from there, for people who are interested in going, I don't have time for a 3-day challenge, we do have a 30-day boot camp that does require a conversation with myself, Chanel, or a Doug. It's in Orlando. It's there's one happening at the end of September, and there's one happening in January. It's $5,750. I think that's the number. Let's just go with it. It's $5,750. It's for 3 days. It's in Orlando, Florida. And it is it's an unmastermind, which is part of an overall 30-day boot camp. So you have the boot camp, there's offline stuff that's done, or I should say online stuff that's done for the first 21, 22 days. Then right around day 24, we show up in person. And then the in-person stuff is fire. That is called the unmastermind portion of it. The last portion of it is really a culmination where we get back together again online once everybody gets back home. But it's a
very clear, cohesive blueprint throughout.
The whole point is to move your blueprint, to really help you set up the entire blueprint for your transition plan for your business. That's what I love about it. And then for people who do that, a lot of those people, I would say about 80% of the people who come to the Unmastermind and get in these people are qualified. I just want y'all to know. These people are qualified because they're coming to stay with us in an all-inclusive mansion retreat. The goal is for me not to be a serial killer by Thursday. And so we are very, very selective on who can get in. We only let 20 people in.
That's why it's a limited offer.
It's a limited offer. It only happens once a quarter. It's happening at the end of September and the end of January. And again, it's all about, it's your 30-day signature model, like really helping you with that model. And then from there, if you choose to be an insider, or if we choose to allow you to be an insider, because there are some people we don't let become insiders. If we decide to take you on as a client and work with you, then we need to know that we can see you actually making that money, doing the things we need to do, because we do have a guarantee behind it.
Yeah.
And so since we're going to guarantee your results, we need to know that you're going to do the work.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's no need. I don't need to waste my time. I already made my money.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's an awesome experience. And it really is a transformative experience for the clients that come in that leverage the access, leverage the tools that are provided for them, and more importantly, take action.
And then leverage the community.
In the community, and then taking the action.
Yeah, our community is absolutely badass. So we have amazing people. Just think, there are people who are like, yeah, I want to invest in my business and make a change. They're already making money in their business offering epic services, right? And so these are people that a lot of people are like, oh, I want to use them. They real good. I'm like, of course they are. They're in our program. Because it's not about who we use. So anyway, we started off talking about Hormozi stuff. Make sure that you don't go and copy Hormozi if that model is not the model for you. There are very few people that have 500,000 followers. Where at least 10% of those followers are buyers.
Right.
He has well over 5 million followers. That's why 500,000 people showed up. And that's why half of those people bought, because 500,000 people were actually, or 250,000 people were actually buyers.
Yeah.
Got to keep that in mind. Like,
know the numbers and know what makes sense for you and your business, for sure.
Right. Absolutely. Anyway, that's all I got. You got anything else now?
That's all I got. So we got the 3-day challenge coming up. Hit one of these links. You can see it either in bio, our what do you call it? The caption of this. Just let us know what questions you have. We definitely want to keep this conversation going.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd also love to know your opinion on what Hormozi did in his model. And I'm very interested in what business model you're running and what are the challenges with that model.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
That's all we got. Have an awesome rest of y'all day, and we will see you somewhere soon.
Talk to you later. Bye.